The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN. We kick things off. Got about 24 minutes to go until the start of trading, and you got markets right now slightly in the red, just chopping around where we were at the close of action yesterday. S&P's right now negative by 5 points. We were as low as 64.09 in the overnight session, but as you see, pretty much right where we chopped around. We've been here since about 1 p.m. yesterday as markets traded lower, driven lower by the tech stocks. NASDAQ 100 down about 43 points, or 0.2% right now. We were lower as well yesterday. Dow, the bright spot. That acceleration yesterday in the Dow in the green right now. 45,000 for the Dow and the Russell, negative by 3. Bitcoin, quite a day to the downside yesterday. We got a $125,000 price point on this chart just going back to a week ago. And right now, up $400, but we're at 113,000. Ethereum up $57 at 42.05. That crude market up 68 pennies at 62.45 right now. Now let's jump to dollar. Yields first. So the pressure's on not only Chairman Powell, but Trump basically wants to fire anybody that disagrees with him on the Fed, right? That's what's coming. And interestingly enough, he's talking about the way that people go about getting financing for their real estate. That's what he has a problem with. People that go after real estate loans and they aren't completely forthcoming with their finances. The President Donald Trump, he has a problem with people who go for loans on real estate and they are completely forthcoming with their finances as they go for those loans. Satire, almost dead. The 10-year up by 1 tick right now at 111.25. We'll get into it, right? It is remarkable. And the dollar, a little bit of weakness today. We're up to 98.44. And right now we're trading at 98.14, so you got a little bit of dollar weakness. We're just back to where we were yesterday at a similar time right now on the dollar, though. 98.14 on the dollar. And yeah, kind of the same with gold. Right back to where we were 24 hours ago in gold. We're off of the lows by $30, but gold trading at 33.85 right now. All right. We jump to some of the retailers with earnings. Target. With their numbers, you're trading at $93. And yeah, we got a problem with Target, man. We're trading at $93 from $105. You're down by $12. And we're trading right there. All right, Target. So let's take a look here. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. On a volume basis, we're coming down to those lows. Let's back it up even more than that. Yeah, Target, man. I love the experience in Target, but they have a tough go-around right now when prices are everything. The competition with Walmart, you're going to open at $93. You got a low out here from 2020. We're going to be pushing the COVID lows. Always dicey when you're coming into these areas, man. Look at the volume that we came down in the lows. I was talking about this yesterday, that you really hadn't caught a bid with any volume, right? Look at the volume in June. In July. And guess what? We're going to get some rip-roaring volume right now, and you're going to get it to the downside, and you're going to open basically at the lows of June on Target shares. Yeah, so we'll get into their numbers, but Target trading lower this morning. Lows on the flip side of that. Higher by about $7. You jump over to TJX with their numbers, higher as well. Look at this thing, man. That was the buy at the bottom. Put this channel on your radar, folks. Now, we're going to be pushing almost the top part of this channel right like that. Okay, we're opening at 141 right now on TJX. But, man, you've been following this show long enough. Look at that channel line. We come back. We touch it perfectly. Whether you're talking about that March and April, March low, I guess, the pullback in July. And TJX, all they do is print higher prices. Now, we get Walmart tomorrow. And yeah, Walmart getting weighed down a bit on those Target numbers, but you get Walmart numbers tomorrow. They'll be out with their numbers, but you got a little bit of retail in focus. We got some Fed in focus, and you got interest rates in focus as usual. All right. And let's pull it up and get into it. So we talked about retail earnings. And yeah, Fed minutes are due this afternoon as well. And the main event of the week, Chairman Powell, coming up on Friday. And if anything, it seems like we'll talk about it. You're going to get some of the other central bankers out there on Friday talking about Fed independence. Trump calls on Fed's Cook to quit as Pulte seeks a mortgage probe. So you have the director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, Bill Pulte, who's a staunch ally of the president, writing a letter to the Attorney General and the DOJ suggesting that Cook may have committed a criminal offense, falsified bank documents and property records to acquire favorable loan terms, talking about mortgage fraud. Now, you know, the context of this, folks, and it all gets political. But that's what Trump was dealing with in New York, okay? And if you look at those numbers, the falsification of those records, okay, it's interesting, and interesting's a so interesting word, right? But now that's how he's going to come after all of his allies, is mortgage fraud. And you're talking about Schiff, you're talking about Cook. And in any other world, the satire of it would be front and center. But yeah, nonetheless, that's on. And we all know the battle for the Fed is on in a big way. All right, we got Estee Lauder out there. We talked about Target. Worst session since Liberation Day sell-off. And you look at some volatility, right? These are one-day moves in Target stock this year. One-day moves this year. Look at this. It's 2.5 and 1.5 everywhere across the board. Whew. All right, you got Toll Brothers out with their numbers as well. Yeah, these home builders, man, well off the highs, but boy, you know, pay attention to these home builders if you're watching yields, folks, because they are getting ahead of the curve, you know, and you've had a little bit of a pullback here, but the market gets ahead, and these home builders are telling you, man. All right, whether you look at Toll, all right, now they get their numbers, they're a little bit higher. Lennar catching that acceleration. KB Homes to 63. And we'll finish it with DR Horton right now. Look at that acceleration, man. DR Horton at $68. Markets in the red this morning. Tech stocks. NASDAQ 100 down by 61. NVIDIA holding flat right now after the pullback yesterday. Amazon trading lower by almost $2 yet again. Stay tuned, folks. We got a lot to talk about. Be right back. If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
This portion of the Morning Market Kickoff is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Welcome back, folks. Taking a look at Target. So as I mentioned, some tough go-arounds. As they're coming into the COVID lows, you're going to open at about $94 right now. You have $87 is the low out there from April. And we take a look at the numbers. So they got a new CEO, who is their COO, I believe? Yeah, their COO, Michael Fidelki. I pronounce it. Who has also served as the CFO. So you go CFO, COO, CEO, the C-suite. He's going to step into that role February 1st. It's amazing. Needs like 6 months to step into that role. 6 months. Now, the CEO is going to become executive chairman of the board of directors. And you have to say, on a certain degree, folks, I love Target. But you look at the performance of this company, and do you really want the current CEO being then the chairman where you march into that role? They got problems, man. Okay, you're at 105. Target was 75 in 2013. Target was at 65 in 2007. Over the last 18 years, right? You had that one magnificent acceleration that really was coming into COVID on an uptrend. You get that acceleration. You're going to open near those lows. And hey, if you look at this thing for symmetry, now this is a symmetry area in terms of we're coming in right now to test these lows. Not quite a head and shoulder the way he accelerated. But there's nothing to say this stock can't get cut in half again, okay? You look at these numbers right now, folks. Now, Target shares, okay? Right now, you're talking about a company that's valued at $42.7 billion, okay? They're valued at $42 billion. You're making $2 a share right now. Now, the numbers that they came in with, okay? Net sales, $25.2 billion. down a full percentage point from a year earlier. And what I'll say to that is this company has almost no growth since the middle of 2020, folks. Okay? They were doing, let's see, we just finished up, second quarter. Q2 2025, we're at $25.2 billion. 5 years ago, they were at $23 billion. Well, you add in a little bit of inflation, and that's all you have. They have no growth whatsoever over that period of time, which is astounding. Net income under $1 billion, down from $1.19 billion. Revenue declined, as I mentioned, okay? Quarterly same-store sales, look at these numbers. Now, look at these same-store sales numbers right here, okay? And listen, I love Target being in there all the time, but this data, is this really a $42 billion company right now? I don't know. Look at these comp same-store sales, okay? Target same-store sales year over year. Now, what's remarkable is I just showed you, right? Look at this. Q2 of 20. I'm going to blow this up to even make it bigger, okay? Because it pains me to talk about Target, right, Darth? Come on. Where's the Target love, man? And look at the second quarter of 2020. Okay, if you just take this portion and you lop off these 5 bars, there's almost no growth. Yeah, there's a little growth, okay? But we're talking about 5 years of growth when we've had, folks, the inflation took place during these quarters. This is going back to right when COVID hit. We had the acceleration of inflation in 2021, 2022, okay? We're only starting in Q2 of 2020, and I know I'm harping on it, okay? Oh, forgive me. Come on, back to the article. There we go. And then you get into the fact that this is Q2 of 2020, right? For the next year, you had some great growth. You had some growth in Q3 and Q4 of 2021. And then, that was it, man. Now, I agree, Darth. Why? Well, I'll tell you, folks. I think what's going on is, you put yourself in that role. Target's great, okay? They're a great experience. I live there too, Darth, and it's great. The user experience versus Walmart, far superior. But guess what? We're very price-conscious shoppers right now, okay? No matter how much I talk about Target, how much am I talking about Sam's and Walmart? Right? It used to be Amazon, and Amazon's there, but Walmart and Sam's, man, they're eating everybody's lunch in the last few years, for sure. I talk about whether you're talking about scan and go at Sam's, that's coming to Walmart in no time, all right? And just the price shopping alone. So where does Target fit in the world of, let's put it this way, right? If I'm buying a TV, I bought a TV recently, I bought it from Walmart, okay? If I'm buying the staples in my home, right? Where am I buying the staples in my house? I'm buying them from Sam's, right? A lot of the produce I'm getting, well, Publix beats Target on the produce. The frozen items I get at Walmart. The staples I get from Sam's. My TVs I get from Walmart. Now, there's plenty going on at Target, okay? But wrap your brain around that one, because there is no reason with how well consumers have been doing that they can't grow in the last 4 or 5 years. And they're not growing, folks. Okay? This is net sales. Down 1% from a year earlier. We still have inflation. So they got to do something. They're going to have a new CEO, but the last CEO is going to be their chairman now. So don't expect any magnificent. Digital sales, a bright spot. Folks, up 4.3%. I mean, imagine how far behind Target is versus Walmart versus Amazon on the digital front. Digital sales are up 4.3% year over year. We might have 4.3% inflation. Okay? Right? Yeah, maybe it is, Duffy. Oh, I hope not. Where's the catalog? Give me that Target catalog. Hey, they could be, man. Target saying, maybe they're the new Sears. Yeah. Adapt or evolve. And where are they? I mean, I would love some feedback, folks, in the den, in the YouTube Tigers den. Where do they fit in that niche? Now, I buy some clothes there, okay, but I buy clothes at Walmart too. I buy clothes at the mall as well. But Target, maybe a little bit nicer clothes than Walmart, maybe, right? That's just brand appeal going on. Yeah, and I would agree, Duffy. You're talking about Amazon, and I just named the other, whether it's Amazon or Walmart, man. Those are the two I check. You price check it. Amazon, Walmart, I throw in Sam's there and see if we're there. Target's non-merchandise sales grew 14.2%. And those are the businesses outside of retail. Yeah. As it drew more revenue from its advertising business, its membership programs, and third-party marketplace. Well, that's why Best Buy is pumping their third-party marketplace, but we talked about them yesterday. But yeah, they need a turnaround. And hey, I'd be patient with Target. I'd be patient. You're talking about 75, you're talking about 50. Don't say it can't happen, folks. We're down from $268 to $94 right now. And think about what the market's done, where we are on tech stocks. All right, we're coming back, folks. We'll take a look at Lowe's. We'll take a look at some others. Don't go away.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. We got equities open with the S&P down by 3 points as we kick things off. We were as low as 64.09 in the overnight session, and right now within a few points of where we closed yesterday, 64.27. NASDAQ 100. NASDAQ under pressure yesterday. We're trading off 68 points or 0.3%. Dow up 51 points right now. Let's jump around. So you had Home Depot numbers yesterday. You're up by 0.8 again today. You had Lowe's numbers this morning. They're up by 3.9%. I mentioned TJX. All right, now be careful in TJX. This is the upper boundary, okay? Look at this. You know, everything has expectations. You just traded from 120 to 145 in the span of 5 weeks. We're now approaching the upper boundary. And yeah, on many occasions, you do want to be careful bumping up. But TJX, man, up 7.8%. And to bring it back to Target, you know, it's like you want to, where's your niche, right? Where do you fit? Are you the premium? Are you the discount? We know where TJX fits. They're doing well, man. When I go to Marshall's, I'm not trying to avoid a purchase like Target, right? I know I'm going to Marshall's and I'm looking for great deals because sometimes they have great deals. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes you don't like what they have. I never feel that at Target, that I'm going to get a deal. I was joking in the den just now. The only thing that they beat is they might beat Publix prices on certain things, but they're not beating Walmart, man. All right, and they're probably not beating Sam's, even when you talk about toys, etc. And you can price shop so easily, but TJX, they have a nice niche. Walmart shares flat right now. And yeah, we'll see where they go. I mean, one of the things that Walmart's been talking about, right, on their earnings, more higher earners, right? Walmart constantly talking about six-figure earners on the higher echelon of earners going to Walmart. And where do you think they used to be? Probably Target, folks, okay? And, you know, when prices go up, you compound those inflation numbers like I have to tell anybody out there, okay? You go up at 8, 6, 4, 5, the number is, time flies, folks, okay? We're talking about being 5 years post when that inflation started to rock. You're talking about 40 to 50% rises on many different things. That wakes up the consumer, folks, okay? And in the day and age where things are so easy to get delivered, that's the other part of this, right? There's very easy mobility in terms of where you shop, what can get delivered, okay? It used to be, I shop down the street at the store. It's more difficult. It's a creature of habit thing. That's where I go. That's where I like. I know my cash register guy, Johnny, he's going to check me out. Not how it works anymore. I know I'm pushing it, but that is how easy we've all gotten accustomed to Walmart Plus, Amazon Prime. So you can pull those up in a heartbeat, man. Even toys. I'll pull up dinosaur toys. You know, we'll be at Target. I'll pull up a dinosaur toy. I'll say, Tommy, I'll get you this one tomorrow. It'll be delivered by Amazon at 60% off. You know, just wild stuff when you compare it to Target, some of those numbers. Walmart, though, yeah, you talk about it. And you compare these two. Whew. I mean, you know, we back it up to Walmart, you double the price it was at the highs. The Target's cascaded from 268 to now pushing 94. So be careful out there. Let's jump to some other retailers. Kohl's. Quite the acceleration from the lows. A little bit of a meme mania kicking in as well. Kohl's down by 1.8% right now on those numbers. Amazon, we check in on some of the tech companies. All right, so Amazon yesterday, a little bit of selling. You know, a little bit of an uptick in volume yesterday. But boy, that was quite a day of buying. We're probably coming back to fill this gap, maybe even back here again. But you're coming back to fill this gap. It's at a high of 224.56 because that was nice volume on that acceleration, but we're still running into this volume down here. And maybe we got to retest that one. And believe me, I'm a huge Amazon bull in the long run, but that last earnings freaked me out, man. AWS, you better have your spikes up on your back when they come with their next earnings, man, because if they ever get blown out of the water by Microsoft again, you know, advertising is a huge portion of what Amazon's doing as well, growing immensely with absolute magnificent margins. But the market is all about cloud, as obvious reasons. Microsoft down by 0.2%. We check in on the chip stocks. NVIDIA down by 0.7% right now. AMD off by 1.1. Intel giving back some of the meteoric rises. I mean, look, we were just trading at what, 26 and change? Yeah, 26.50. You're down by 10% off the lows. 10% from the highs of yesterday. All right, Robinhood down by 1.5. Robinhood was down big yesterday. Palantir, it's not stopping just yet as well. Down by 2.5% today. Let's take a look at O'Reilly. Yeah, what do they got? Up another 0.6%. I mean, this thing just never goes down, folks. Look at this thing. I remember looking at this with my dad. Look at this. You just keep going back, man. Look at this. This is remarkable. So, does that get into it? What's this doing? Thought it was showing negative prices. I was on the map. Yeah, you're talking about in 2009, 2010, because I remember watching this equity and saying, man, car parts, maybe Amazon can get into their business. No, not happening. Not happening at all. One of the best performers, no matter where you go on this chart, man. You're talking about $5 in 2012. You're talking about $25 in 2019. Just a straight shot. And it's not stopping, man. Look at that. That's a monthly. Let's look at the volume. All right, the April volume, car parts, yeah, that was a big one. It would be nice to see some more volume as you're coming above there because, yes, you might not get above the April volume, but look at last month's volume. You do 102 million shares, less than June, less than May, less than March, and barely more than February and January. And look at the price movement, right? You'd want a little bit more volume there as you get to it. Yeah, it is amazing how certain areas, right? You can't order that battery from Amazon. You're exactly right, Duffy. And I wonder how much of their business people are buying where they need help putting it on, right? Or that they're just selling to commercial, right? Selling to companies that are doing business commercially. But yeah, you talk about a stock, man. I mean, there's a channel line somewhere in there, folks, and it's straight higher. Straight higher. Now, the other side of that, though, is let's just do it for a second. Because you're approaching the upper boundary no matter where you put this channel. And it's a heck of a channel. Let's see where this backs up to even further. Yeah, it would just keep going. Pretty close. Kind of similar to where those Bud Rolfe primary trading ranges, right? You chop above it, and then you chop below it. Steve was talking about it when I was interviewing him on the show yesterday afternoon, which is great. But bumping up against the upper boundary to a degree. Nonetheless, O'Reilly up another 64 pennies on a day when we get the Dow. Positive. Look at that Dow acceleration. Dow up by 98. We'll take a look at the Dow. We got NASDAQ off by 87. We'll be right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. We got a little bit of selling in the S&Ps and the NASDAQ as well to kick off the trading session. You see that NASDAQ driving right down to the exact line we touched at about 1 a.m. Eastern time of 23,340. You got the Dow on the flip side, accelerating higher right now. And we take a look at the Dow. How about the banks? JP Morgan up by 0.7% right now. Visa up by 0.8%. We take a look. You got Mickey D's. We're going to talk about them in a moment. They're up by 0.8% as well. Walmart up by 0.5%. Where's lower? The big tech stocks. UNH down slightly, but Microsoft off by 0.2. Nvidia off by a full percentage. Amazon 0.9, and Apple a full percentage as well. So there's your divergence with the Dow. You take a look at the NASDAQ 100. Yeah, very few bright spots. ASML, they're a bit higher. But then you get into what? Costco, up by 1%. Consumers in the NASDAQ 100. All right, Texas Insurance up by a percentage point, and Analog Devices up by 1.7. Netflix up by 0.5% as well. All right, we talk about a couple different equities. You take a look at Ford. So Ford with some volatility yesterday, but this is an interesting one from the Journal. Talking about their dividend. So one of the risks out here, okay? Ford's dividend looks hard to maintain, even with bespoke accounting. Their payout seems ambitious, notwithstanding heavy adjustment of cash flow metrics. And really what you want to get down to is Ford's on track this year to pay a dividend of 75 cents a share, including a 15-cent supplemental dividend paid in March. That's almost as much as the average earnings estimate. Basically all of it, yeah. You combine the fact that in July, they said they're going to cut about $2 billion from this year's pre-tax earnings, up from $1.5 billion. This chart here, the two darker blues, or the navies, are the dividends and the share repurchases. The light blue is their adjusted free cash flow. Look at these two, folks, okay? You're talking about a dividend of $1.79 billion. And their adjusted free cash flow is $1.35 billion this year. So, yes, they do love those buybacks. Those dividends. nonetheless, the pressure is going to be on. Wanted to highlight it. It's something out there. Tariffs, of course, are a concern with Ford on that front as well. All right, and we said we're going to talk a little Mickey D's. We'll talk a little Mickey D's. So we pull up McDonald's right now. Talk about a stock in a great channel as well. Is this one the 10-year one? Yeah, it is. You talk about a channel. So McDonald's up by 0.8% right now. Okay, that's your monthly, right? Whew. Talk about a channel, baby. That's the king of channels right there, Mickey D's. Excuse me. So Mickey D's is going to cut combo meal prices after convincing franchisees. Working to improve its affordability after consumers recoiled from escalating restaurant menu prices. And I would agree, folks, McDonald's is no longer a deal, and that is a problem for that equity. Not in their chart just yet, but it does not feel like a deal in any capacity. But yeah, how about 15% below the sum of the individual items' prices? That's what they're looking for. After pitching operators on the plan, McDonald's and the U.S. franchisees agreed to keep the cost of 8 popular combo meals 15% below what they are for single items. The chain's going to also run a $5 breakfast and $8 Big Mac and McNugget combo meal. Can I point out that we go back and forth between GLP-1 stories of biotech companies, and then we go to McDonald's that's running extra value meals for Big Macs. And guess what? If that Big Mac ain't enough, baby, we're going to throw some McNuggets in there for $8. You think those two are related? And listen, I love a Big Mac and a McNugget combo, baby. All right? I love it. But for what it says, I'll tell you. So when I was very fortunate, went to an amazing school, talked about it many times, Noble and Greenhouse School, Dedham, Massachusetts, 10 Campus Drive, Dedham, Massachusetts, folks, goes from middle school to high school. Very fortunate to attend there. One of the things I got to do was study Japanese from the age of about 12 to 18. Unfortunately, I forget most of it. It was so long ago, and I didn't continue it in college because it was 27 years ago. But I got to go over to Japan for an exchange program and stayed with an absolutely amazing family for about 3 weeks. Got to visit many amazing cultural sites in Japan. I would love to go back someday. And what was remarkable is that they ate such a healthy diet, right? I had a lot of eggs, lean proteins, fishes, rice, vegetables. And as a kid who was about 16 at the time, right? And they also, so to go to the school I was going at, right? And what happened is it was a school in Kyoto that I was attending, and the family, okay, many families, they would send their kids to this specialized school. And so you had to travel. And the way you traveled is first we took a bicycle to the first train station. Okay, that was about a 10-minute bike ride. We took one train, got off, had to walk about 10 or 15 minutes, got on the second train, got off that one, had to walk another 10 or 15 minutes to pick up a third train, which I then took, and then you had to walk 5 or 10 minutes from that final train. It was 3 trains, folks, okay, not 2, 3. And so, yeah, you're moving a lot on top of it, right? But to get to the Mickey D's, so we're there for 3 weeks. Within about 4 or 5 days, we had kind of figured out, and I was there with some friends from my high school, as well as some other high schools around the New England area that we kind of partnered with to create a program big enough to send about 15 kids, 20 kids maybe over to Japan. And to get to it, so we finally learned our way around, where we were fortunate enough to be able to go on the trains ourselves, not get lost. Nobody had cell phones back then, right? So I'm in Japan. I speak the language as basic as you can imagine, okay? So yes, I probably could have navigated it in a real, but I was nowhere near fluent, and it was still a problem if I got lost. No cell phones. I'm 16 years old. And so we learned where to go, where our host students we could just say, oh, I'm hanging out with my friends, we're going to go grab some food, and then I'll take the train home and I'll meet you home at 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever it was. What would we do? We would go to Mickey D's. And we were so hungry from eating these very healthy diets, and it was great, that we're 16-year-old boys. We're on the go 24 hours a day in a different country, and we would order like 2 McDonald's meals, right? We get 2 Big Macs, 2 fries, 2 Cokes to be 16 years old and a growing boy in McDonald's. But yeah, some great stories. And then the gambling, the Yakuza running everything, the pachinko parlor, 16 years old, man. We could go anywhere we wanted. Now that's going 1996, folks. Times I'm sure have changed. But yes, the Yakuza running the pachinko parlors. We're 16 years old and we're over there gambling, not drinking, right? To be young. Hey, you only live once, folks. To be young. Thank goodness. It's amazing, right? Memories. Imagine. So that's a 3-week portion of my life. Make sure you travel, folks, because it's amazing. 3 weeks of my life, and the memories stick with me forever. Versus imagine how many 3-week rolls in your life that you never even remember a certain portion of it. S&P is trading lower. We'll come right back, folks.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Welcome back, folks. And yeah, as I was talking to Basil last night, great interview, and we were talking about keeping your spikes up. Well, if you weren't keeping your spikes up yesterday, folks, get them up today, baby, because we got NVIDIA off another 3.1%. And you're talking about a move from 182 just yesterday, okay? This is 24 hours. I'm going from where we opened yesterday. We're 25 minutes into the trading day today. You've lost $12, which is $300 billion with a B dollars in market cap on NVIDIA. Now, they're always going to be tantalizing numbers. That equity has run up so high. But guess what, folks? You better believe when you trade from 87 to almost 187 in the span of 4 months, that, yeah, you get a pullback. All right? Here, watch this. You're talking about, I always like to say, and this is just saying to yourself, okay, markets move, right? They go up, they go down, they oscillate. If you think NVIDIA is great long term, you're going to face a little bit of short-term volatility. You say to yourself, okay, what's a reasonable pullback? Where am I willing to reasonably? Folks, the 382 is a 146. You're at 170. You're at 184. Okay, and that's just the move over 4 months. If you don't think that we can pull back a 382 of what this market's moved in 4 months, then you probably don't want to be in there. Because we're getting some volatility, and watch the VIX. VIX spiking to 1666. Oh, watch out, baby. Look at that spike. We were at a 14 handle yesterday with 1681. All things considered, near the doldrums in this market. So we really might start getting ratcheted up right now. Jump over to Target, down by 8.5%. A little bit of a lift. And remember, you get Walmart. We got Walmart numbers before the bell tomorrow. And then you get Chairman Powell, Jackson Hole on Friday. Wouldn't expect any surprises there. They're going to get a full month of data before they have to make their decision September 17th. Folks, thanks so much for kicking your trading day off right here. And stay tuned. Basil Chapman, he's coming up next with the Tiger Technicians Hour. Get those spikes up, baby. All right. Have a great day, folks. We'll see you later.